And exactly what risk is the president running right now that he could be alienating a vocal, if not very large, part of his base?
I think it's a significant risk. I'm doing this interview from Disney World, arguably the happiest place on earth. And I find it a coincidence that right now the White House has got to be the most unhappy place on earth. Think about it. Put it in perspective. They've changed the chief of staff. They've changed the chief strategist. They've changed the communications director, and they've changed the press secretary. I went back over the last 30 minutes to see any administration that underwent so much change from so many significant people. There are none. Not only are we in uncharted waters, these are people who basically put their reputations on the line when they signed up for this administration. Hell hath no fury, like a strategist scorned. And I could easily see not just Bannon, but others, as they come and go, showing some resentment for how they were treated. But you got to acknowledge that this has not been the most organized White House over its first 7 months.
Yeah, I think everyone would have to agree with that. But I also want to draw upon your history, because you worked with Newt Gingrich on the Contract with America. You have worked with iconoclasts. You've worked with rabble-rousers, if I can use the term, to really make fundamental change in an organization in Washington that doesn't like change. Is it almost necessary to break a fair amount of China the way it appears to be broken right now to really change the place?
Well, that's going to be the best question I get asked all day. And the answer is that you have to start with policy. You don't start with politics. And this administration has not had at the forefront it's not about an agenda, it's about a philosophy behind it, that it can rally the American people, that it can challenge directly its critics, and it moves forward as one. Where Gingrich was different than Trump is that he united the entire House Republican caucus around a single contract with America. Donald Trump has asked people to support him, but in terms of communication, he has not really asked people until the very last minute to support these different components of the legislation. And quite frankly, some of the communication behind those requests to the American people have been inefficient and ineffective. And Bannon did not help that effort. But those who are listening to this interview and they want Trump to succeed, it requires those who remain to get on the same page, to commit to the same agenda, to coordinate with the House and the Senate, which has not been happening, and it requires a lexicon that, quite frankly, this administration doesn't have.